What happens when two nations clash over a desolate stretch of land? The Chaco War, a conflict seldom remembered, erupted in the 1930s between Bolivia and Paraguay, driven by the potential riches beneath the soil. Both armies, fueled by national pride and ambition, faced harsh conditions in the unforgiving heat of the Chaco region. The war showcased brutal battles, with tactics that changed as rapidly as fortunes did amidst the arid expanse. As soldiers fought for pride, the truth emerged. The real battle was over natural resources and regional dominance. Ultimately, this lesser-known war would reshape both nations, embedding a legacy of rivalry and resilience that echoes to this day. What happens when the world is poised for war, but the fighting never begins? This was the reality of the Phony War, a curious stretch in 1939 and 1940, when Allied and Axis forces faced off, yet remained largely inactive. Despite the ominous atmosphere, few bullets were fired as nations braced themselves for the inevitable storm. It was a time of espionage, tension, and uncertainty, setting the stage for dramatic confrontations that would soon follow. The brief skirmishes that did occur hinted at the chaos that lay ahead, as political intrigues intensified. Historians argue this period was crucial in understanding the rapid developments that led to the explosive invasions of 1940. As the calm before the storm lingered, the world held its breath, waiting for the inevitable clash that history would remember. What if a single canal could control the fate of nations? The Suez Crisis of 1956 erupted when Egypt's President Nasser nationalized the canal, igniting outrage among Britain and France. These nations, fearing loss of control over this vital waterway, launched a military intervention aimed at regaining dominance. However, they underestimated the rising tides of nationalism and the fierce resistance from Egypt. As international condemnation mounted, especially from the US and Soviet Union, the conflict spiraled into a diplomatic chaos. In a stunning twist, Britain and France were forced to withdraw, marking a significant decline in their imperial power and the ascendance of the US and USSR in the region. Thus, the Suez Crisis became a pivotal moment, reshaping the geopolitics of the Middle East for decades to come. What if a forgotten clash between India and Sri Lanka revealed the complex layers of geopolitical tension? In the early 2000s, the Palk Straits became a battleground for fishermen, caught between sovereignty and survival. As authorities attempted to regulate fishing rights, the situation ignited fierce confrontations on the water. Escalating tensions drew in the navies of both nations, highlighting the fragile state of their maritime borders. Local communities became embroiled in a conflict not of their making, caught between national pride and economic necessity. This clash serves as a reminder that even small disputes can ripple across nations, affecting lives and regional stability. The Palk Straits are more than a geographic line. They represent an ongoing struggle for identity and autonomy.